Hi guys. Okay, well today it's gonna be a short one. I did important work, but it's not. It's under the hood, so it's not super visual. So, right. So last time I added drop shadows on the chests. Today I added drop shadows on monsters, and I also added an object class. So now I can actually instantiate as many monsters that I want of all the classes that I have. I think I have roughly 100 monsters. They all have a command function and an update function. So let's say I click action on it. If he talks, he's gonna talk. If I click attack, it's gonna trigger, a reaction from his side. But right now it's empty, but I'm gonna have state machines eventually. I also want to make sure that I divide the behavior of monsters from the actual monster class. So I'll have a behavior class that I can attach to any monster so that I can reuse behaviors instead of coding the same thing 100 times plus. I also added drop shadows to the boxes. They follow the rotation on the horizontal plane, like I said. I coded the height thing, but I didn't test it yet, so if it's broken, I'll fix it. Oh well. That was actually pretty neat. The shape on the floor will always be a rectangle, so it won't be like an actual projected shadow. It's an gross approximation, but I think it's totally sufficient. I mean, I also, what I worked on mostly is the maps, the actual map generation again. Right, so you can see that it's very different from the last one. I found it on the web. I think people call it the Holberg dungeon generation. I'll leave a link in the description. The guy who did it seems to be actually pretty good. Right, so you place rooms randomly, and then in the spaces you generate mazes, so that's why it's all maze-like. And after you select connectors, which touches rooms, but also, and after you go from the edges of the labyrinth, the dead ends, and then you eat them away, and you end up with something like that. His blog explains it well. I had to redo it in C++, but there's some things that annoy me. For example, well, you don't see it too much here, but let's see. Well, for example, this part, it's annoying. I mean, really? So I want to erase those loop-de-loops, like this one. That's totally futile. So there's some path reduction I can do, so I'll try and do that next. And well, after, I think I'm happy enough with this organization of rooms in order to start actually generating them. So also I hesitated in showing all of my monsters because I still want to leave people. I don't want to do spoilers, right? If people want to be surprised. If I show everything, then there's no more surprise, right? So I don't know. It's up to you. Tell me if you want to see them. I can showcase them, and people that don't want to see them could just not watch the video. But that stuff. Another thing also that I noticed. Well, the jiggly. See, it was jiggly just a moment ago. That's just a precision thing, there's no way around it. Right. You can tell that some pixels are way bigger than others. That's normal, but it's not super nice, see? So I actually optimized the bilinear rendering, which minimizes this effect, but it also blurs it out. I'm not sure I like this. I don't mind the choppiness of pixels. There's some bugs though, I'll need to fix also though, but yeah, I think there's some bugs. The first bug is that I don't offset my UVs properly, so this edge is thicker than the other. And there might be a fixed point rounding error also, because those jaggies are not normal. I'll see. In any case, I think I'm gonna leave it in, and it's gonna be like a game option if you want filtering or not. It's an aesthetic choice, really. It does take longer to... It's a heavier rasterizer, of course, though. Let's go. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for following me. I've noticed that people watch less and less my videos, and I'm thinking it's maybe because I'm updating too often. So please tell me if it's the case. I don't mind updating less often and having actually more stuff to showcase at each iteration. Alright, take care.